Really huge news coming out of Mexico. This is amazing. El Chapo Guzmán. He's been apprehended in the last 24 hours. Drug lord. He was once considered a billionaire. Probably still is, or maybe he lost some of his money. He was hanging around Sinaloa. I'll show you a map of that a little bit later. But here's the list of the headlines. Years on the run, so he was concealed within his organization. They were doing a lot of operations, but authorities could not locate him. Here's some pictures in case you think you may have seen him. A lot of people seen him, and he was protected by the people. You know, they wouldn't report on him either because of fear that they would be rubbed out because they betrayed him. You know, one of his people would go after you, or just because of the fact that he was such a hero to the common person. You know, you have a lot of folk music down in Mexico, or pop folk music, which is singing about him. They're called narco corridas, and you know, saying there's good guys and bad guys is just a belief system of relativity. You know, here's the picture they're putting out. Here's El Chapo. I guess this was yesterday at some point. According to the stories, you know, how do you know what to believe? But there he is. And El Chapo is translated loosely as Shorty. Here's some of the Yahoo article. And I think that this is most interesting at the bottom of the article. It says, born into a humble family of farmers in the Sinaloa village of Barrio Guzman reached Forbes magazine. Okay, I already told you that. Now here's a quote from a guy, Mike Vigil, a former DEA chief of international operations, said hiding in the rustic Sinaloa mountains, that's the Sierra Madre, was too much for a man of Guzman's wealth. Mike Vigil is quoted as saying he has to start going down to the city to enjoy the comforts of his wealth, and he does it more and more, and that was his fatal mistake, Vigil told the AFP. So I'm just going to look up the map of Sinaloa. That's basically where it is. And it's on the western side of Mexico. Basically, you see it here. It's south of Arizona and New Mexico. And that's where he's from, and that's where they found him. Now let's look up Mike Vigil of the DEA. He's a former DEA agent. Apparently this is him going deep undercover. But, you know, I guess he's retired now. But I thought that this is a very telling quote that he gave about the lure of money. And yes, those are chickens in the background. Yes, those are chickens. I am in a rustic location myself.